Yuzon Xiangven and Les Eloxt are off to a great start, leading the pack, followed closely by Di Marino in third. Greeny Jeb and Silai 7 are not far behind and are looking to move up the leaderboard. Feds and Chieftain X have advanced to 9th place, passing Okayoki 3. Zygote 22 and Smurf 20 have progressed to 11th place, surpassing Gary Z. Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 have climbed to 15th place, overtaking Ashuan 1792. Just Jazik in the Ferrari i40L, and Waziri Sky from Team No Name Racing are fiercely fighting for 7th place. Zoiga 22 and Smurf 20 have made a move to secure the 9th position, successfully passing Feds and Chieftain X. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 from Team Racing Potatoes and Gary Z are currently battling it out for the 11th spot. Feds and Chieftain X are on the move, chasing down Waziri Sky, closing in by 2.3 seconds. Snikuva 515 and Komodo 3 have advanced to 10th place, overtaking Okayoki 3 Twasi. Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 are fiercely battling Okayoki 3 for the 10th position. The McLaren F1 GT is facing off against the Dower 962 Elm. Feds and Chieftain X advanced to 8th, surpassing Wazirius Guide title. Gary Z contends with Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 for 11th place, with Gary Z in a Dower 962 Elm and Sniku 15 and Komodo 3 in a McLaren 41 DT. Mama Hasta and Nukembokem climbed to 22nd, overtaking Phi Re A. N29 Kia slipping down to 24th position after losing 6 spots. Aetion 1792 climbing up to 15th place, passing Sidrek and Deplorable Apple. Intense duel for 15th place between Aetion 1792 in a Ferrari i40L and Sidrek, and Deplorable Apple driving a Mercedes-Benz GLK Jati Car Octel. La Croissant, 1980, and Maya made a slick move up to 16, leaving Cydric and Deplorable behind. The Dower 962 Ellen is holding strong against the Mercedes-Benz Car Gachi. It's a tight battle for that 16th spot. N29 Kia is gaining on R40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 4.6 seconds. N29 Kia is making moves, catching up to R40 and Amy by reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Seagota 22 and Smurf 20 have advanced to 11th place, surpassing the race. N29 Kia is making gains on R40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 2.5 seconds. N29 Kia is making a move, catching up to R40 and Amy, reducing the gap by 3.8 seconds. Serious Guy makes a bold move, advancing to 9th place by overtaking Okayoki 3. N29 Kia making moves, narrowing the distance to R40 and Amy by 2.2 seconds. N29 Kia is making a move on R40 and Amy, closing the gap by 3.1 seconds. N29 Kia is making gains on R40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 3.4 seconds. N29 Kia is making a move, closing in on R40 and Amy. The gap has decreased by 2.20 seconds. La Croissant 1980 Maya and Naga 77 are in a tight fight for the 16th position. Meanwhile, N29 Kia is gaining on R40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 3.5 seconds. N29 Kia is making a strong move, narrowing the gap to R40 and Amy by 6 seconds. Noga 77 has surged to 16, passing La Croix 1980 and Maya. Exciting developments on the track as N29 Kia continues to close in on AA40 and Amy by 6 seconds. N29 Kia is making a striking comeback, gaining on R40 and Amy by reducing the gap to 10.4 seconds. Bokizaro from Team Quark Express has impressively climbed to P20, surpassing Mamahasta and Nukembokum. An exciting showdown is happening between Bukizaro in a Mercedes-Benz Kia Tolkay GTR and Mamahasta and Nukembokum in a McLaren F1 GT for the 20th position. N29 Kia is making impressive gains on Era 40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 6.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 are fiercely fighting for the 13th spot, both showcasing their skills in a McLaren F1T and Dower 962 Elm, respectively. Famaka is making a strong push, closing the gap on Mama Hasta and Nukembokum by 10.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Etion 1792 and Nolga 77 are fiercely battling for the 15th position in their Ferrari R40 Elm and Dower 962 Elm respectively. The race is heating up with intense competition on the track. N29 Kia is making a strong move, catching up to Air 40 and Amy, reducing the gap by a significant 9.9 seconds. Saigo 22 and Smurf 20 are on the rise, now in 10th place after passing Okayoki, Freed Eye. Hugget 3 is also climbing, now in 13th place after overtaking Sniku 515 and Komodo 3. N29 Kia is aggressively catching up to Air 40 and Amy, reducing the difference by 11.7 seconds. Zagota 22 and Smurf 20 are steadily closing in on Feds and Chieftainax, cutting the gap by 2.5 seconds. While CB and Super Lacroix have made a significant move to P18, surpassing Sidrek and Deplorable Ipple in the rankings. N29 Kia is making a strong push, reducing the gap to Air 40 and Amy by 5.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Ation 1792 and Nalga 77 are fiercely contesting the 15th spot with their Ferrari i40 Elm and Dower 962 L1, respectively. Hey Shipbro man! Welcome back to the racetrack, glad to have you tuning in again. Let's see some exciting AI car action together. N29 Kia is making significant progress, catching up to A40 and Amy by reducing the gap by 11.5 seconds. Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 have advanced to Pate after overtaking Wazirius Guy. Ugdet. Meanwhile, Snakuva 15, Komodo 3, and Naga 77 are engaged in a tight battle for 13, with Snakuva 115 and Komodo 3 in a McLaren. Fon GT and Naga 77 in a Dower 962 LM. N29 Kia is making a strong move, cutting the gap to R40 and Amy by a significant 16.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Kanaga 77 advances to 13, by passing Sniku 515 and Komodo 3. Lakwason 1980 and Maya also make gains, climbing to 16 by overtaking 81 1792. N29 Kia is making a strong push, reducing the gap to R40 and Amy by 7.2 seconds. Woxie B and Super Lacroix are now in 17th place after passing Cydric and Deplorable Evil. On the flip side, Cydric and Deplorable Evil have moved up to 18th by overtaking Butchizoro. Jasak 72 is closing in on Sabina 27 by 589.2 seconds. Atune 1792 is narrowing the gap on Duff Dad by 460.4 seconds. Cedric, Deplorable Apple, and Butchizoro are fighting for the 18th position. Aetion 1792 is getting closer to Duff Dad from Team Y for speed, cutting the gap by 3.1 seconds. Meanwhile, N29 Kia has made a move up to position 30, overtaking Era 40 and Amy in the process. Lakwason 1980 and Maya have advanced to 15th place, surpassing Snikuva 115 and Komodo 3 in the ongoing race. Saigo 22 and Smurf 20 have made a solid move up to Pate, overtaking Waziri Sky in the process. Aetion 1792 keeps pushing, and now is only 2.2 seconds behind Duff Dad. Aetion 1792 is now only 2.6 seconds behind Duff Dad, and the competition between these two AI-driven cars is heating up. Just Jazik, Zygot 22, and Smurf 20 are all fighting for the 7th spot. Just Jazik is in a Ferrari i40 LM while Zygot 22 and Smurf 20 are both in Jaguar XHA 220s. It's a tight battle with these three drivers as they maneuver around the track. Aetion 1792 is making a move on Duff Dad, narrowing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Aetion 1792 has managed to catch up to Duff Dad, reducing the gap by 3 seconds. The competition is heating up. Cedric, Deporobayapple, and Butchazero are tightly contesting the 18th position. Aetion 1792 is making a move, narrowing the distance to Duff Dad by 2.4 seconds. Aetion 1792 is making steady progress, gaining on Duff Dad and reducing the gap by 2.3 seconds. Laquasson 1980 and Maya are narrowing the distance to Nalga 77 by 3.2 seconds. Aetion 1792 is catching up to Duff Dad, reducing the gap by 2.3 seconds. Aetion 1792 is gaining on Duff Dad, reducing the difference by 2.8 seconds. Aetion 1792 has made a move on Duff Dad, shrinking the gap by 3.4 seconds. Okayoki 3 and Hugger 3 are neck and neck in a close fight for the 12th position. Fiery in the Mercedes-Benz Kyoko K. Kitatia is tussling with Mama Hasta and Nukembuken in the McLaren F1 GT for the 21st position. It's a close fight between these two cars. Mama Hasta and Nukembuken have advanced to 21st place, surpassing Fiery D. Mama Hasta and Nukembuken are currently dueling with Fiery for the 21st position. Mama Hasta and Nukembuken are piloting a McLaren F1 GT, while Fiery is behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz Kyoko K GTR. Aetion 1792 is swiftly gaining ground on Duff Dad, reducing the distance between them by 2.5 seconds. Phil's car is catching up to Mama Hasta and Nukembuken, shrinking the distance by 2.7 seconds. Okayoki 3 and Hugger 3 are in a tight battle for 12th place. Hugger 3 advances to 12th place, surpassing Okayoki 3 Toidewash. Hugger and Naga 77 are locked in a heated tussle for the 13th position on the track. Aetion 1792 is making a move on Duff Dad, narrowing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hugger 3 is now in 12th place after overtaking Okayoki 3 Daitai. They are engaged in the battle for that position. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 and Naga 77 are fighting it out for 13th place. Okay, we've got an intense battle for 12th place between Okayoki 3 and Hugger 3. Meanwhile, Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot are making the move on Fiery, closing in by 2.5 seconds. Green Yep and Sea Lady 7 now secure the 6th spot after a successful overtake on Just Jazik from Team S1's To. Siderek and Deplorably Apple have advanced to 17th place, passing Booker Zero. But Chizero has climbed to 18th place, overtaking WAG-CB and Super Lacroix. An exciting battle is unfolding for the 18th position between Butcher Zero, in a Mercedes-Benz, KLK Chiitao and WAG-CB, and Super Lacroix, in a McLaren 1 TT1. Fades and Chieftain X are closely contesting for the 10th position in their Ferrari i40 Elm cars, with Gary Z from Team No Name Racing in Adoa 962 Elm closely behind them. Mama Hasta and Nukembukin have advanced to the 19th position, passing Fiery, who now holds 20th place after overtaking Simple Markers and Siraramba. WAG-CB and Super Lacroix are making significant gains on Sabina 27, reducing the gap by 543.1 seconds. Buchitero is also rapidly closing in on 81-17-92, cutting the distance by 571.6 seconds. Okayoki 3 and Hugger 3 are locked in a fierce battle for 12th place. Aetion 1792 is making gains on Duff Dad, shrinking the gap by 230 seconds. Feds and Chieftain X now at P9, passing Gary Z. Gary Z moves to Pen, overtaking Zyka 22 and Smurf 20. Duff Dad advances to P25, overtaking WAG-CB and Super Lacroix. Ortes. Zyku 515 and Komodo 3 have advanced to position 15, passing Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 in the process. Duff Dad advances to P25, passing Aetion 1792. Aetion 1792 climbs to P26, surpassing Bucci0. Autumn. Bucci0 moves to P1 and overtaking Wauk CB and Super Lacroix das Dudai. Hey there, Nira Soul. Welcome back to the stream. Party popper. Let's root for some fast AI races together. Checkered flag. Automobile # welcome back. Mama Hasta and Nukambukam are on the move, catching up to Zygo 22 and Smurf 20, closing the gap by 50.9 seconds. Bucci0 from Team Quark Express is making a massive push towards Duff Dad, closing the distance by 66.2 seconds. Okayoki 3 has made a move up to Penn, successfully overtaking Gary Z. Sabina 27 is closing in on Fire, narrowing the gap by a significant 50.3 seconds. Lacrosse 1980 and Maya are also gaining on Naga 77, reducing the difference by 4.4 seconds. It seems Sabina 27 is on a relentless pursuit against Fire, showing impressive progress. N29 Kia is steadily gaining on Duff Dad, reducing the distance between them by 3.2 seconds. Simplimarkers and Sirironbot are making gains on Mama Hasta and Nukambokam, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Bucci0 is closing in on HE 1792, cutting the distance by 2.2 seconds. N29 Kia is catching up to Duff Dad, narrowing the gap by 2 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Komodo 3 are making a move on Lacrosse 1980 and Maya, reducing the gap by 3.2 seconds. Okayoki 3 and Harger 3 are ducking it out for the 10th position. N29 Kia is on a mission, closing in on Duff Dad with a gap reduction of 2.3 seconds. Gates and Chieftain X are making a strong push, closing in on Wazirius Guy by 591.2 seconds. Greenajib and Sil87 have overtaken Just Jazik for the 4th spot. Just Jazik retaliated by passing Decadus Snake, now sitting in 5th place. Sneku 515, and Komodo 3 are on a charge, closing in on Feds and Chieftainax by 568.2 seconds. Gary Zed has climbed to P8, passing Nalga 77. Nalga 77 now holds P9, overtaking Lacrose on 1980. And Maya. Zagoa 22 and Smurf 20 have made a swift move up to P12, surpassing Feds and Chieftainax. Simplimarkers and Sir Ironbot are inching closer to Mama Hasta and Nukembokum, reducing the distance by 2.7 seconds. Aetion 1792. From Blue Stars making a strong move, closing in on Jessup 72 by 20 seconds. Simplimarkers and Sir Ironbot have climbed to 15th place after passing Mama Hasta and Nukembokum. Aetion 1792 continues to narrow the gap on Jessup 72 by 20 seconds. Cedric and Deplorable Apple advanced to 16th place, passing Mama Hasta and Nukembokum Ot. Decada Snake is closing in on Sabini 27, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Aetion 1792 is catching up to Jasak 72, narrowing the distance by 2.8 seconds. Aetion 1792 from Team Blue Star is steadily gaining ground on Jasak 72, reducing the gap by 3.4 seconds. Aetion 1792 is now just 2.1 seconds behind Jasak 72, making for an exciting battle. Aetion 1792 is closing in on Jasak 72, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Meanwhile, WowCB and Super Lacroix are gaining ground on Duff Dad, slimming the difference by 2 seconds. Action-packed race unfolding here. Pamaka is now within striking distance of Mama Hasta and Nukembokum, reducing the gap significantly by 8.7 seconds. Meanwhile, WowCB and Super Lacroix are closing in on Duff Dad, narrowing the gap by 2.6 seconds. The competition is heating up as these cars battle for position. Cedric and Deplorable Apple advanced to 15th place, passing Simplimarkers and Sir Ironbot the Tolte. Aetion 1792 is closing in on Jasak 72, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Sabine at 27 is making a swift move on Famaka, reducing the gap by 6 seconds. Wunzerius Guy has climbed to power, surpassing Di Maria Nu. Hugo 3 has advanced to 6, overtaking Okayoki 3. Welcome back, Apex. Good to have you back in the fast lane with us. Automobile dashing. La Croissant 1980 and Maya are making impressive moves, overtaking 5 cars to secure 5. Di Maria Nu is showing strength, advancing to P3 after passing Greninjet and C87. La Croissant 1980 and Maya continue their climb, now at 5, overtaking Wazirius Guy from Team No Name Racing. Feds and Chieftainax made a bold move, passing 4 cars to secure 9th place. Jasak 72 is on fire, closing in on Famaka by 83.4 seconds. The duo then advanced to 9th place by overtaking Gary Z. Sneaker 515 and Komodo 3 are catching up to Greninjet and Seal87, reducing the gap by 87.4 seconds. Waxubi and Superlaqua are also gaining on N29 Kia, closing in by 11.1 seconds. The pressure is on as Sneaker 515 and Komodo 3 continue to close in on Greninjet and Seal87, narrowing the gap by 87.4 seconds. Snake is making gains on Fiery, reducing the gap by 4.1 seconds. Ateona 1792 is also putting pressure on Sabina 27, closing in by the same margin of 4.1 seconds. Famaka is on the move, climbing to 24th place after overtaking Jasak 72. Etiana 1792 is continuing to close in on Sabina 27, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. N29 Kia is closing in on Duff Dad, reducing the gap by 2.44 seconds. Ateon 1792 is inching closer to Sabina 27, reducing the distance by 7.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Feds and Chieftainax are fighting it out with Gary Z for the 9th position in their Ferrari i40 Elmandawa, 962 respectively. The competition is heating up as the race progresses. Famaka from Team Nafgum Kings is making a strong move towards Sabine 27, shortening the distance by 7.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Greeninjab and CLT7 have climbed up to P12, surpassing La Croissant 1980 and Maya.all. There's an intense battle for the 12th position between Greninjab, CLT7, La Croissant 1980, and Maya.con. Cedric and Deplorably will make a bold move to 14th place, surpassing La Croissant 1980 and Maya.con. Famaka is gaining on Sabina 27 from Team Blast, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Welcome back, Naidi. Good to have you back in the race car action. Mama Hasta and Nukembakem are making impressive gains, closing in on Cedric and Deplorable Apple by 586.1 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Maya are swiftly catching up to Simple Markers and Sir Ironbolt, reducing the gap by 593.4 seconds. Dakota Snake is also on the move, narrowing down the distance to La Croissant 1980 and Maya by 7.2 seconds. Duffdad is making a strong comeback, closing in on Jasak 72 by 10.4 seconds. Zayed v2 and Smurf 20 have advanced to Power, surpassing Wazirius Guy. Not far behind, Wazirius Guy from Team No Name Racing has climbed to 5, overtaking Dustjasic. Knalga 77 skillfully advances to the 10th position, surpassing Just Jazik. Meanwhile, Decada Snake maneuvers up to the 19th spot, overtaking both La Croissant 1980 and Maya in a bold move. Okayoki 3 and Hugger 3 are neck and neck in the fight for 6th place. Snaku 515 and Komodo 3 have made impressive progress, now sitting in 12th place ahead of Dustjazik. N29 Kia has advanced to 27th place, surpassing Duff Dad in the process. Cedric and Deplorably Apple are on a mission, cutting down Jazik's lead by a substantial 86.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Feds and Chieftainax are making gains on Gary Z from Team No Name Racing, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. The battle for positions is heating up as the race progresses. Ognitro said, "Hey Amy, how you doing?" "Hey there. I'm doing great, thanks for asking. How about you, enjoying the race?" Hey there, Ognitro. Welcome back to the racetrack. It's great to see you again. Let's buckle up and enjoy the AI car action together. checkered flag automobile dashing away. Welk CB and Super Lacroix are in a charge, closing in on Duff Dad by 6 seconds. Noga 77 is making moves, narrowing the gap to Feds and Chieftainax by 3.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Decada Snake is steadily catching up to Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot, cutting the gap by 2.7 seconds. Famaka makes a move to claim the 23rd spot, surpassing Bocchizero of Team Quark Express. Bocchizero advances to 24th place, overtaking Atito 117.92 in the process. While CB and Super Lacroix are making gains on Duff Dad, shrinking the distance by 3.2 seconds. Deconite from Team Racing Potatoes has advanced to 18th place, surpassing Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot in the process. Jasak 72 continues to close in on H1 1792, narrowing the gap by 5.44 seconds. Famaka in the Lamborghini. Diablos V is tangling with Bocchizero in the Mercedes-Benz Akio KTR for the 23rd position. The competition is heating up as they navigate the track with precision and determination. Car number 29 Kia is making gains on Jasak 72, reducing the difference by 2.1 seconds. Nala 77 is now in 9th place after overtaking Feds and Chieftainax. Fiery and Decada Snake are fiercely contesting the 17th spot, with their Mercedes-Benz GLK GTR and Dawa 962 LM respectively. Meanwhile, CB and Super Lacroix are hot on the heels of Duff Dad, reducing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Decada Snake overtakes Fiery, advancing to 17th place. Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot are fighting La Croissant 1980 and Maya for the 19th position. In another part of the track, Air 40 is gaining ground on Electric Mary and Underweg, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Maya advanced to 19th place, passing Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot.oi. Aetion 1792 climbs to 24th place, surpassing Famaka in the standings. Sabina 27, from Team Blast in a De Tomaso Pantera D85S, is fiercely contesting P22, with Bucci0 in a Mercedes-Benz KLKK CTR. Meanwhile, Aetion 1792 is progressively catching up to Bucci0, decreasing the distance by 2.1 seconds. While XCB and Super Lacroix are making moves as they close in on Duff Dad, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Sabina 27 has advanced to 22nd place after overtaking Bucci0. Famaka has advanced to P24, passing Bucci0. Pandemoint en fotos av Vados Thorden Test. Mama Hasta, Nukembukum and Dakota Snake are fiercely competing for the 15th spot. In another battle, Aetion 1792 has climbed to 22nd place, overtaking Sabina 27th Poi. Aetion 1792 and 727 continue to fight for the 22nd position in their intense race. Dakota Snake makes a bold move, climbing up to 15th place after overtaking Mama Hasta and Nukembukum. The race is heating up as drivers jostle for positions. Jessak 72 is making a strong move on Bucci0, closing the gap by 46.6 seconds. Serious guys inching closer to Zygo 22 and Smurf 20, narrowing the distance by 3.6 seconds. Another impressive surge from Jessak 72 against Bucci0, reducing the lead by 46.6 seconds. Feds and Chieftainax are on the move, catching up to Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 by reducing the gap by 12.8 seconds. Garyzest has made a significant jump to 7 by passing Naga 77. Naga 77 responds by overtaking Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 to secure Pate. Just Jazik is now in P21, after dropping 7 positions. Bucci0 is gaining on Famaka, reducing the gap by 5.6 seconds. Dakota Snake has advanced to P13, surpassing Yamahasta and Nukembokim in the process. Gary said is making a bold move, reducing the gap to Okayoki 3 from Racing Potatoes by 12.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Fiery is on the move, advancing to 16 after overtaking Yamahasta and Nukembokim. Fiery is making quite the charge, closing in on Cedric and Deplorable Leeple by 10.7 seconds. Decades Snake has made a solid move up to P13 by overtaking both Cedric and Deplorable Leeple. The battle at the front is heating up as Fiery continues to close the gap on the leaders. Yamahasta and Nukembokim advanced to 17th place, passing Cedric and Deplorable Leeple. Cedric and Deplorable Leeple move up to 18th place, overtaking Fiery. The 22 and Smurf 20 have made a move, closing in on Feds and Chieftain X by 2.4 seconds. Feds and Chieftain X are fiercely contesting P9 in their Ferrari i40 LM, closely followed by Zugga 22 and Smurf 20 in their Jaguar X-Stage 220s. The battle for this position is heating up as they navigate the track with precision and determination. Just Jazik from Team S1 is steadily closing in on Famaka, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Dakota Snake is making moves, closing in on Sneku 515 and Komodo 3 by 2.3 seconds. Meanwhile, N29 PA is catching up to Jasak 72, narrowing the gap by 2.2 seconds. N29 Kia has made a move and is now ahead of Jasak 72. Just Jazik has successfully overtaken Famaka, moving up a position. Feds and Chieftain Axe are fiercely competing against Greninjeb and Seal 87 for the 10th position. The battle intensifies as both pairs navigate the track, with Feds and Chieftain Axe in a Ferrari i40 LM and Greninjeb and Seal 87 in the Dord 962 LM. Uchithero is closing in on Just Jazik, reducing the gap by 230 seconds. Feds and Chieftainax are jostling with Greninja and Seal 87 for the 10th position. The Ferraris are up against the Duars in this exciting battle. Just Jazik is now right on the tail of Famaka, reducing the distance between them by 2.2 seconds. Decoder Snake is now in between Snaku 515 and Komodo 3, reducing the distance by 3.3 seconds. Greninja and Seal 87 in the Dower 962 LM. Are fighting hard against Feds and Chieftainax in the Ferrari i40 LM for the 10th position. It's a tight battle between these skilled drivers as they navigate the track. N2090 has overtaken Jazak 72, moving up one place. Feds and Chieftainax in the Ferrari i40M are fiercely contesting 10 with Greninja and Seal 87 in the Doha 962 LM. Famaka from Team Nafgum Kings is impressively closing in on Subini 27. Reducing the gap by 9.2 seconds. The chase is on and the competition is heating up on the track. Duff Dad is skillfully catching up to Wilk CB and Super Lacroix, reducing the gap by 7.7 seconds. Keep an eye on this exciting battle for position. Feds and Chieftainax in the Ferrari i40 LM are fiercely contesting 10 against Greninja and Seal 87 in the Doha 962 LM. It's a tight race between these skilled drivers, showcasing the strengths of their respective cars. N2090 has made a move up to the 26th position, passing Jasak 72 in their close battle on the track. Both drivers are showcasing their skills, with N29PA behind the wheel of a McLaren F1 GT, and Jasak 72 handling a Porsche 911 964 Turbo 3.6. Okayoki 3 is gaining on Huggard 3 from Nafgum Kings, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Butchazero is catching up to Famaka, closing in by 2.1 seconds. Famaka is rapidly gaining ground on Sabina 27, cutting the distance by 8.2 seconds. Jazik has climbed to P22, successfully passing Sabina 27 in the process. The pursuit by Famaka on Sabina 27 from Team Blast continues, with the gap shrinking further by 8.2 seconds. Jasak 72 is under pressure from Wouk CB and Super Lacroix, who are now just 2.2 seconds behind. Simpermarkers and Sirarenbot are gaining on Lacroix Son 1980 and Maya, reducing the time difference by 2.2 seconds. Famaka in the Lamborghini Diablo SV and Bucchezero in the Mercedes-Benz GTO KTR are neck and neck battling for the 24th position. It's a tight race between these two competitors at the back of the pack. Dakota Snake is narrowing the distance to Snekufiv 115 and Komodo 3 by 14.6 seconds. Dadzin Chieftainax have advanced to Pelivan, surpassing Snekufiv 115 and Komodo 3. Dakota Snake continues to close in on Snekufiv 15 and Komodo 3, reducing the gap by 14.6 seconds. Jazik is now just 6 seconds behind HE1 1792. Gary Z is closing in on Naga 77, reducing the gap by 3 seconds. Dakota Snake is narrowing the distance to Snekufiv 115 and Komodo 3 by 3.2 seconds. Di Mariano is out in front with a commanding lead, followed closely by Wazirius Guy holding on to second place, and Hogwartfree not too far behind in third. Let's see if anyone can make a move to shake up the current standings. Byrie is making impressive gains, reducing the distance to Mama Hasta and Nukam Bokum by 2.1 seconds. Sabina 27, from Team Blast in the De Tomaso Pantera, DHE5 HE5s, is battling Bucchezero in the Mercedes-Benz GLK TAR for the 23rd position. It's a close fight between these two drivers as they navigate the circuit. Dakota Snake advances to P12, passing Snaku 515 and Komodo 3. Aetion 1792 is gaining on Mama Hasta and Nukembokum, cutting the lead by 4.3 seconds. Sabine 27 climbs to P23, overtaking Butchie 0. La Croissant, 1980, and Maya have made a solid move, advancing to P13 by overtaking Decades Snake. Butchie 0 is now in P23, after overtaking 7 and 27. While CB and Super Lacroix are making a move on Jassac 72, cutting the distance by 2.2 seconds. Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot have advanced to the 14th position, passing Decade Snake in the process. Gedson Chieftain Axe are making a move on Greninja Seal 87, trimming the distance by 3.1 seconds. Echi 117.92 is catching up to Mama Hasta and Nukamboka, narrowing the gap by 2.8 seconds. The race is heating up as these cars battle for position. Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot are fiercely contesting for the 14th place, both in Lamborghini Diablo SFVs, while Dakota Snake in a Dowa 962 Elm is in the mix. Fire is making good progress, gaining on Cydric and Deplorable Apple by reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Maya are making significant gains, closing in on Snuko 515 and Komodo 3 by 7.4 seconds. The race is heating up as we witness some impressive strategy and skill on the track. Dalga 77 is inching closer to Huggard 3, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. While CB and Super Lacroix are also making moves, closing in on N29PA with a 2.2 second gap. While CB and Super Lacroix are making a strong push, closing in on N29PA from Team Still No Name Racing by reducing the gap by 43.6 seconds. Fire is quickly closing the gap on Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot, reducing it by 6.5 seconds. Okayoki 3, Yuzo John 7, and Lizylost are locked in a tight battle for 6th place. Mama Hasta and Ukembokem are making a strong move, catching up to Simple Markers and Sirarimbot, reducing the gap by 9.1 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Maya are gaining on Sniku 5, 115, and Komodo 3, cutting the distance by 2.1 seconds. Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 are catching up to Feds and Chieftain X, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. N29PA is making gains on Jasak 72, closing in by 2.1 seconds. Simple Markers and Sirarimbot are in a tight duel with Mama Hasta and Ukembokem for the 19th position. It's a Lamborghini Diablo Sef versus a McLaren F1 GT showdown. Use John 7 and the Zalogs now leading the pack, surpassing Di Marianu for the top spot. Zolio 22 and Smurf 20 making moves, climbing to 8th place ahead of Gary Zad from Team No Name Racing. Simple Markers and Sirarimbot in a heated duel with Mama Hasta and Ukembokem for 19th position, featuring Lamborghini Diablo SV against McLaren F1 GT. Okayoki 3 is making a significant move towards Naoga 77, reducing the gap by 35 seconds. Greninjep and Seal 87 are also catching up to Gary Z, with a similar 35-second reduction in the gap. It's a tight battle unfolding on the track. Okayoki 3 from Racing Potatoes is making a move on Naoga 77, reducing the gap by 3.2 seconds. Feds and Chieftain X are rapidly gaining on Greninjeb and Seal 87, reducing the gap by 50.2 seconds. Lacrofon 1980 and Maya are catching up to Snickle 515 and Komodo 3, cutting the difference by 3.2 seconds. Sniku 550 and Komodo 3 are making significant gains on Greninjeb and Seal 87, reducing the gap by 55.5 seconds. Jasak 72 is also closing in on Fomaka, narrowing the distance by 6.2 seconds. The competition is heating up as Sniku 515 and Komodo 3 continue to close in on Greninjeb and Seal 87, cutting the gap by 55.5 seconds. Buchitero has overtaken Just Jazik, moving up a position. Amy is making a strong push, closing the gap to Electric Murray and Andraveg by 40.9 seconds. Amy is making some serious moves, closing in on Electric Murray and Andraveg by 5.1 seconds at turn 40. The pressure is on as she goes for the overtake. Hypercars and Sir Ironbot are now in 20th place after overtaking HE1 1792. While CB and Super Lacroix are making some serious moves, rapidly catching up to N2090A from teams Still No Name Racing, reducing the gap by 4.7 seconds. Just Jazik is making a move, narrowing the distance to ITM 1792 by 2.8 seconds. Just Jazik has advanced to 21st place, successfully passing Etione 1792. Buchitsero continues his charge, reducing the distance to Etione 1792 by another 33.7 seconds. The pressure is on as Buchitsero hunts down Etione 1792 with determination. Daikula Snake making moves by overtaking Lacroix Swan 1980 and Maya to secure the 13th position. Winzerius Guy is making a strong move, catching up to Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 by reducing the gap by 7.1 seconds. Additionally, Cydric and Deplorableeple are closing in on Lacroix Swan 1980 and Maya, decreasing the gap by 3.8 seconds. Okayoki 3 advances to Pasivan, passing Gary Z. Gary Z climbs to Pate, overtaking Zygo 22 and Smurf 20. Just Jazik is closing in on Symphomarkers and Sir Ironbot, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Famarka is making a strong move, narrowing the gap to Sabini 27 by 11.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Feds and Chieftainax have climbed up to 10th place, surpassing Greninja and Seal 87. The competition is heating up as Famarka continues to close in on Sabina 27, with an impressive pace. D. Mariani is making a move, catching up to Eus John 7 and Liza Logst, shrinking the gap by 2.1 seconds. N29 Kia has climbed up to the 26th position, passing Jazz 72 in a swift maneuver. Guides and Chieftainats in Ferrari 40L are competing fiercely with Grenadier and Steel 87 in a Dawa 962L for the 10th position. Action is heating up in the mid-pack. While CB and Super Lacroix are making a move, narrowing the distance to Jazz 72 by 2.2 seconds. Feds in the Ferrari 40L and Chieftainats are fighting it out with Grin and Jib and Steel 87 for the 10th spot. The battle is heating up as they navigate the course in their respective cars, showcasing some exciting driving skills and strategy. Feds and Chieftainats in the Ferrari i40LM are dueling it out with Greninja and C87 in the Dewa 962 Elm for the 10th position. It's going to be a thrilling battle to see who comes out on top in this contest. Simple Markers and Sir Ironbot are now in 18th place after overtaking Fiery. Snako 550 and Komodo 3 are swiftly catching up to Feds and Chieftainats, reducing the distance by 5.3 seconds. Keep an eye on this exciting chase unfolding on the track. Sabine 27, in the De Tomaso Pantera. JT5 says, is competing fiercely with Famaka in the Lamborghini Diablo SV for the 24th position. The De Tomaso and the Lamborghini are neck and neck as they navigate through the track. Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 are on the move, steadily gaining on Gary Z, decreasing the gap by 2.1 seconds. N29 Kia is making gains on Famaka, reducing the difference by 2.2 seconds. While CB and Super Lacroix are also gaining on Jasak 72, narrowing the gap by 3.8 seconds. Fiery is making a move, closing in on Sidrek and Deplorable Apple by reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Fiery has overtaken Just Jazik, securing the 19th position. The Mercedes-Benz Elk KT8080 proved its prowess against the Ferrari i40LM in that close battle. Aetion 1792 advances to 20th place, passing just Jazik. Dicey. Meanwhile, WelkCB and Super Lacroix are gaining on Jazak 72, reducing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Gary Z is making a move on Okayoki 3, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Mamahasta and Nukembukelam are making a move, catching up to Lacroix 1980, and Maya, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Dakoda Snake is making a move, closing in on Snikufev 115 and Komodo 3 by reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Buchizero is closing in on just Jazik with an impressive 48.5 second gain. The battle for position is getting intense as the cars navigate the track. WelkCB and Super Lacroix have made a strong move, climbing up to the 27th position, successfully overtaking Jazak 72. Aeon 1792 advances to P19, surpassing Phi Rio, the Ferrari i40 Ellen driver, and the Mercedes-Benz Kyoko Keiichi contender are locked in a tight contest for the 19th spot. Looks like there's a bit of confusion there with the teams. It happens in the heat of the race. Greenyjet and Sail87 are making a swift move to catch up to Gary Z from Team No Name Racing, decreasing the gap by 4 seconds. On the other hand, Dakoda Snake is steadily gaining on Snikufev 115 and Komodo 3, reducing the gap by 3.7 seconds. Aetion 1792 has made significant progress by reducing the gap to Sidric and Deplorably Apple by 2 seconds. Saiga 22 and Smurf 20 are closing in on Okayoki 3, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Simplamarkers and Sirironbot are also making gains on Momahasta and Nukambokum, shrinking the gap by 2.1 seconds. N29 Kia from Team Still No Name Racing is reeling in Famaka, reducing the difference by 2.4 seconds. Duff Dad is making a remarkable charge, narrowing the distance to Jasak 72 by 47.4 seconds. Aetion 1792 is steadily catching up to Cedric and deplorably Upple, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Exciting developments on the track as Duff Dad continues to close in on Jasak 72 by 47.4 seconds. Di Marianu is making gains on Eugen 7 and Liza Lux, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Over at Team Life for Speed, Duff Dad is closing in on Jasak 72, narrowing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Zygo 22 and Smurf 20 are currently fighting for the 7th position, both in Jaguar Alki 20s, while Okayoki 3, in Adora 962 Elman, is not far behind. Momahasta and Nukembokum are catching up to Lokran, 1980, and Maya, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. N29 Kia is also closing in on Famaka, shortening the distance by 2.2 seconds. Simplamarkers and Sirironbot are making a move, narrowing the gap to Moma, Hasta, and Nukembokem by 2.2 seconds. Aetion 1792 is also closing in on Cedric and Deplorable Apple, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Decatur Snake has overtaken Sniku 515 and is now hot on the tail of Komodo's Reek. The gap has decreased by 2.4 seconds, making for an exciting battle up ahead.